Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So this Friday, one of the hottest prospects in the welterweight division, Vergil Ortiz, makes his return to the ring. This will be his first fight of 2020, and he is going to be fighting the welterweight fringe contender slash gatekeeper, Samuel Vargas. As I said, in my opinion, Vergil Ortiz is one of the best prospects in the welterweight division, maybe the best prospect in the division. It's between him and Jeron Ennis, as far as I'm concerned, and he is going to be taking on Samuel Vargas. Now, Vergil Ortiz Jr. is still very young, he's 22 years old, and he's already amassed a record of 15-0 with 15 knockouts. Ultimately, I think he's progressing very well in the welterweight division. In the past year, he is now slowly starting to step up. I think he's being matched well, and his last three opponents really highlight this. His last three opponents include Mauricio Herrera, Antonio Orozco, and Brad Solomon. I think that's pretty solid competition for a 22-year-old with 15 fights. He's now slowly starting to step through the ranks, and he's starting to really cement himself as a contender. And Samuel Vargas, in my opinion, while not being on the level of someone like Antonio Orozco, a previous opponent of Vergil Ortiz, I still think Samuel Vargas is a decent name to be taking on at this stage of your career, when you're so young, when you've had so few fights. I don't think this is a terrible learning fight for Vergil Ortiz. I mean, Samuel Vargas, he's always come unstuck at the highest level, but he is a pretty durable dude. He's shared the ring with the likes of Amir Khan, Louis Collazo, Danny Garcia, Errol Spence Jr. You know, he's fought some decent fighters in his career, and while he always comes up short, he will actually give it a go. He will throw shots back. He's not one of these gatekeepers who basically come to survive. He will actually try to make a fight of it. He does have some ambition. So all in all, not the worst opponent for Vergil Ortiz. Vergil Ortiz has been out of a ring for a little while now. His last fight was in December 2019, so I don't really think this is a bad opponent to come back to, all things considered. Now, obviously, I expect Vergil Ortiz to win this fight, and I actually expect him to look pretty good, to be honest. I think stylistically Samuel Vargas would play into Vergil Ortiz's hands, to be honest. Vergil Ortiz is what I call a boxer puncher. Good straight punches, accurate, powerful, really good understanding of distance. He has solid timing, and against a guy like Samuel Vargas who comes forwards and who tries to apply pressure, I think that's really going to play into Vergil Ortiz's hands, and he will find Samuel Vargas with those hard straight shots, and chances are he will knock out Samuel Vargas in this fight, maybe even early. So listen, the fight itself, I expect Vergil Ortiz to win, and I expect him to look good, but I am excited to see him back in the ring for the first time this year. Vergil Ortiz, definitely one of my favourite prospects in the sport of boxing, and all in all, I like his style, I love his attitude. I mean, he recently came out and said that if he won this fight quite early, he would actually also fight on the Canelo bill. He'll make himself available, so the guy wants to stay active. He's moving in the right direction. And yeah, I like what I see with Vergil Ortiz Jr., to be honest. And, providing he wins this fight, which he should do, I would like to see him fight maybe someone like Ray Robinson. You know, Ray Robinson, he's like a tricky fighter, an outboxer, he's defensively sound. We've not really seen Vergil Ortiz in there with that sort of style yet. I think someone like Ray Robinson would be the ideal next opponent for Vergil Ortiz. And then maybe after that, someone like David Avanesian or Josecito Lopez, guys along those lines. And after those sort of fights, in a couple of fights' time, then you really let the leash loose on Vergil Ortiz Jr. and let this guy fight anybody, because I think this guy is close to being ready. I really do. I think right now, this guy would give a lot of top welterweights problems in the division. I'm talking about the cream of the crop. I'm not saying he'd beat them right now. I'm not saying that at all. But I don't see anybody in this division who has an easy time with Vergil Ortiz Jr., even now. And this guy is still quite green. I think this guy's ceiling is extremely high, and I am high on the guy. I really am. I think the guy's got a lot of ability. I think he's got the right mindset. He's exciting. This guy can go a long, long way. And in my opinion, he is the best prospect at Golden Boy Promotions. Ryan Garcia's the one getting all of the attention, all of the hype, And while I think Ryan Garcia is good, I think there's more substance with Vergil Ortiz Jr. I really do. I'd be shocked, absolutely shocked, if Vergil Ortiz doesn't end up being a champion at some point. You know, I'm really high on the kid. And yeah, I'm excited to see him return to the ring. As I said, it goes down on Friday the 24th on DAZN. Not sure whether this fight is being covered in the UK. Hopefully Sky Sports pick this one up. But yeah, looking forward to seeing his return to the ring. But yeah, anyway, share your thoughts below. What do you make of this fight? And what do you make of Vergil Ortiz Jr. as a prospect in general? Do you believe he can go all of the way? Or are you one who believes he's overhyped? I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. Share them below. Peace.